Hello there, lovely people. It's Alex from Nintendo Life here, and welcome back to Alex Asks. And last time, I asked you, lovely lot, given all the rumours and everything that have been going around with the Nintendo Switch, what can you do by pulling them all together? What do you think we're actually gonna get? It was kind of complicated to say. Big apologies for this being a week late. Unfortunately, last week I was just absolutely horrifically ill, and I'm still a little bit ill, but I'm over the worst of it now. Also, in light of last time's sort of mixed bag, shall we say, Errol has confirmed that this time around there are no references to toasters or waffle makers or anything like that in any of the comments that he's selected. That's right, isn't it, Errol? Yeah, because he knows, you know, don't you? You know what's going to happen if there are. Yeah. So let's just see what a few of you had to say. Nyan Brian says it's a hybrid between a... No, go on, off you go. Go on, I told you. No, don't look at me like that. No, I don't want to hear it. Back in the spider pit. Brian Mullins says, touchscreen? Yes. 720p screen? Most likely. Tegra X2 chip, putting it between an X1 and a PS4? Hopefully. 4-hour battery? Probably, but please 5 or more. Extra power in the dock to render at 1080p? Hit or miss, but likely. Putting bread back in the dock to... Macarthur Corax says, this is the Nintendo Switch. Touchscreen. 4 gigabytes of RAM.
Wow!
4K video streaming, but native 1080p resolution when docked, 720p at max 30 frames a second when mobile. And all the little wabbit games you can dream of. Rachana Baditha says, there are rumours that it might be a home console / handheld hybrid, though we cannot know for sure. Well, Rachana Baditha, have I got some news for you. Dylan Trembath says, it will have a touchscreen and the battery life will be about 4 hours. It will be as powerful as the Xbox One. The launch lineup will be the new 3D Mario game, Mario Kart 8 with new content and double items mode, Skyrim, a bunch of sports games, Splatoon sequel, and the Rabbids Mario game. It doesn't come much more straight-laced than that. That's a very, very sensible prediction, and it's nice to get the occasional sensible comment in amongst all the rampant memes. And yes, I can honestly see this definitely being the case. Dylan, my friend, you are definitely onto something, I'd wager. Jan Schutenkopf says, I think it's going to be NX2. It's going to be next to what? The sofa? Sam Sales says, serious talk, it'll be a Tegra K2 chipset. Not heard of a K2, I thought it was all X's and stuff. Putting it on the same level as the base PS4 and Xbox One. And it'll certainly have a touchscreen, otherwise you'll be stuffed if you can't connect the controllers for whatever reason, and Nintendo can release a whole buttload of casual games for it to compete with the iPad. Another sensible comment, Errol, you've almost redeemed yourself. I said you've almost redeemed the whole idea of competing with the iPad and basically having it as a touchscreen that has various games that are compatible with it and basically being kind of like a third pillar to the Android, iOS, and then you got Nintendo. That could sort of work. Maybe. I mean, there is Windows, but that's less of a pillar and more of a pile of rubble. King Nate said, I heard in terms of power, the Switch could compete with the N64 and Game Boy Color. My boy, this level of power is what all true warriors strive for. Jake B Animations is a little bit more optimistic and says, 1440p 3D Mario at launch, Breath of the Wild that summer, $250, basic, Mario Kart 8 remaster, Splatoon sequel, Pikmin 4, 8-hour battery life, and obvious backwards compatibility with my Virtual Boy and Philips CDI. You started off so well. Other than that last bit at the end, that's actually a really good comment. It's very optimistic, but I think we should be optimistic. I mean, $250 for a 1440p screen like that? I don't know. I mean, it could happen, I suppose, but I think you really might be clutching at straws. I think 720p is much more the ballpark we should be aiming for, but keep up the positivity. We love a bit of positivity over on Nintendo Life, or at least I do. Can't say for the others. And finally, Shingo Sawatari says, the Switch is a robot that came from the future to save Alex from the PS4 Neo, which has disguised itself as a police officer. I think we may have come up with the plot for the new Terminator film. I need your clothes, your badge, and your choppy frame rate. Massive thanks to everybody who left a comment. Unfortunately, I can't read all of your comments out because the camera tells me I can't, and Errol is now in the pit of spiders. But you do have a chance to get one of your comments read out in the next episode. And so, my question for you this week is, what locations do you want to explore explore in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. We're talking anything here, existing places like Gerudo Valley, Kakariko Village, I keep calling it Mount Doom, Death Mountain, anything like that, or it can be brand new things like some sort of savanna or a jungle or any sort of interesting biome, maybe a big frosty place, although that's already been confirmed. Whatever your idea, let us know down there in the comments. Go on. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then why don't you go surfing USA with that subscribe button, and be sure to check out NintendoLife.com for all sorts of lovely Nintendo related content. Thank you again for watching. Bye bye. PS4 Neo, which has disguised itself